back to my channel. I'm back in another video. And man, I want to say that I was shocked and surprised, but not really. So it's looking like Sidora and her husband, soon to be ex-husband, Ralph Pittman, have filed for divorce. When I initially saw this news come across my timeline, like, you get the initial shock of, like, you know, oh, this is sad to hear, like, this is bad news. But I feel like a lot of the housewives community, we all kind of saw this coming, right? I mean, we saw the way that Ralph treated her when they were on the show. I actually was shocked that they showed a lot of that in a lot of those conversations, or at least that those conversations even took place on camera, because there was a lot of stuff that Ralph was doing that just did not make him look like a good person. And just even the way that, like, I don't know, like, and listen, we've all been there, right? We all try to defend and, you know, protect your relationship, even if there are red flags present, you know. And I think Drew really wanted this to work out, and, you know, it's just really unfortunate. So I more so feel bad for her, you know, because, and listen, I'm not saying she's perfect either. You have people that, I feel like majority of people are on Drew's side, but then you also have I don't want to say they're on Ralph's side per se, but there are people that are kind of suggesting that it wasn't 100% Ralph's fault, right? And I think when these situations happen, I agree that it usually isn't 100% one person's fault, except in certain circumstances, right? Like, of course, if there was abuse, which we'll get into that. But, you know, unless there's, like, a lot of present abuse on one particular person, a lot of times, like, when marriages and relationships kind of just end, there usually is things on both sides, right? Usually isn't just one sole person's fault, like I said, unless there's some type of abuse or cheating involved. But apparently in this situation, both of those things were present, actually, funny enough. You know, it was reported that, and actually I'm going to pull up the reports because I have them. So this is when the news officially broke that they had filed for divorce. This is from the Peach Report. I'm getting everything from the Peach Report. They're my favorite platform to get housewives tea and drama on, and so yeah, I'm pulling everything from here. And so I'm on the Peach Report, and it says, according to documents obtained by People, Pittman's petition for divorce was received on Monday, so this Monday. He is seeking to end his partnership with Drew after 9 years and several seasons after nearly 9 years, and after several seasons under the scrutiny of their co-stars. Pittman, 37, listed the couple's separation date as last they were quick on that. So they've been separated since last week on Thursday, and then they filed, or according to this, he filed, but we're gonna get into that as well. He filed a couple days later. And the papers noted there is no chance or hope of reconciliation between the spouses. Wow. Okay, so that news dropped, right? And of course everybody was up in arms because, you know, again, from what we see, Ralph is the one that has been causing the most issues. He doesn't respect his wife. He's been doing shady stuff behind her back. We all know about the situation with Tampa, when he went to Tampa, Florida for several days and did not contact his wife, didn't tell anybody where he was at. And till this day, we still don't know what he was doing, but they kind of just brushed over that, I guess. Which to me, that was like the major red flag when it came to him. And so, yeah, we're just like, you know, everyone literally is like, you know, Ralph had the nerve and the audacity to file first. Like, are you serious? Like, Drew sat up here and dealt with all of your bull crap and dealt with all of your disrespect. And now it's coming out that you were abusing her as well. And you had the nerve to file. And it's just so crazy because we see this happen a lot, actually. We see this happen quite a bit. We saw it happen with Derek Jackson. We've seen it happen with Ray J, where it's like, and again, I'm not saying that their spouses are without fault, because we don't know all the details, but from what we can see from the outside looking in, it's really the men that can't get their stuff together, and they're not the ones upholding their vows and being good husbands to their wives. And so for them to have done all of this dirt and been the main cause of the issues, and then to turn around and be the one to try to end the relationship, to me, that's just so wild to me, because I'm like, you really have some nerve being the one to try to end it, and then trying to make it seem like you're being the bigger man by, no longer wanting to hurt them, when it's just, you should have been a better person to begin with, as opposed to you being like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna let you go because you don't deserve this, as opposed to just being better. It blows my mind when men think like that. It pisses me off. And so, everyone's like, oh, how dare he do that? But then come to find out that Drew was the one that filed first. She filed 61 minutes, so an hour, before Ralph did. And so she actually beat him to it. They were literally in a race to see who could file first. I know people look at that and, they make jokes and make light of that, but I don't know. Again, it's just really sad because it literally wasn't that long ago that they seemed like they were doing good. They were posting pictures. They were expressing love for one another. So for them to go from that to they're just both completely done, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. And so yeah, like I said, I feel really bad for Drew. And again, it came out actually that there were some cheating and abuse allegations. So again, from the Peace Report, it says Drew Sidora is laying out exactly why she's calling it quits with her estranged husband Ralph Pittman, accusing him of cheating, abuse, and messing with her finances. In an amended divorce complaint obtained by TMZ, Drew says she simply cannot take Ralph's continued blatant disrespect and mental abuse any longer. She goes on to accuse Ralph of being a serial cheater during the marriage, even claiming some of the women that he's allegedly had affairs have rubbed it in her face, sending her screenshots of their sex with Ralph. This is ridiculous. Then it says, that's not all. Drew also says that Ralph has recently gotten physical with her, claiming last month he grabbed her phone out of her hand, causing her to fall to the floor. She says Ralph yelled at her, saying he pays the cell phone bill, so the phone belongs to him. She says when Ralph got physically aggressive, she even considered leaving Atlanta and flying with her 3 minor children to Chicago, where they'd feel safe. And you want to know something? As I'm reading this whole thing, I'm like, I believe it. I believe all of it. Like I said, there's footage. You literally can go back on some of Drew's. How many seasons have Drew been on for Real Housewives of Atlanta? She's been on like 2 or 3 seasons at this point. Watch all of them. Watch her scenes with Ralph specifically, and you'll see why people are like, oh, we're not surprised and this marriage needs to end. Because honestly, Ralph just has not been showing her any kind of respect. The way that he talks to her, the way that he treats her, the way that he is just very dismissive. And I 1000% believe some of this. Now, the cheating, it's like, I'm surprised, but I'm not. I'm surprised in the sense that, like, I really thought that Ralph's main, sorry, y'all. I had to get up and go do something. I forgot what I was saying. I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, I think I was talking about the cheating. So, yeah, with the cheating thing, right? I thought that Ralph's main, like, red flag was just the way that he would handle certain situations and the way that he would talk to and treat Drew. I'm like, he just doesn't seem like a good dude. But now to know that there was cheating involved, I'm like, oh, surprise, surprise. Especially again with the Tampa thing. I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt with certain things, and I just would have hoped that Drew wouldn't have stayed with Ralph if she had any inclination that he was cheating in Tampa. But looks like he probably was, and probably cheated, on several other occasions. Who knows how long he's been cheating for. And it's just really, it's sad, man. It's just so sad. And I also hate how normalized cheating is too. Because when you're cheating, you're just like, like, I feel like people almost assume that there's cheating present when people are together for a long time, which I think is really sad. Because I know for me, like, cheating is definitely a deal breaker. Like, cheating isn't something that I would ever tolerate, regardless of the circumstances. And I hate how just normal it is for men to cheat. And I'm not saying women don't cheat either, but again, we're talking about this situation. And in this scenario where the husband cheated on the wife, it happens so often. It's just really, really sad. And so yeah, and then of course, with the physical abuse allegations. Now, when I first read those headlines, I was really hoping that it wasn't like, because I thought he was like beating her up, right? Like, that's initially what I thought. And then I started reading some of the comments on, some of these posts, and people were kind of making light of it, and it was throwing me off because I'm like, why are y'all making light of physical abuse? Like, why are y'all making jokes? But now that I'm reading it, he didn't like hit her, I guess. He just grabbed the phone and she fell. And yes, there's gonna be some people out there that say, oh, he didn't physically abuse her, he just grabbed the phone and she happened to fall. Either way, when a man is being overly aggressive with you, regardless of if he, like, I don't think that physical abuse should start and end with just him hitting you. Like, if he's just overly aggressive with you to where you're scared and you're thrown off by the behavior, I think that is enough to warrant some type of concern and worry. And I think Drew had every right to be like, okay, this has gone too far. Like, for you to be sitting here, you're grabbing things out of my hand, you're yelling at me, you're making me feel uncomfortable. The point at which your partner is making you feel that uncomfortable, and again, they're being that aggressive with you, I do think that it probably is time to at least separate. But now they're getting a divorce, and so it's just really unfortunate. But again, I can't even say that I'm shocked that Ralph would do something like this, because it low key seems like it would be in his character to do that. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Again, he just seems so like, and she even said too that there was mental abuse. We saw that as well. Again, there are scenes. I'm sure if there isn't a compilation already, I'm sure someone is gonna make a compilation of these instances where Ralph was on camera gaslighting her to no end and being a narcissist and just not even taking any accountability for anything that he does. Like, I could see the mental abuse on camera. So could you imagine what it was like off camera? I'm not surprised at all, y'all. I'm not surprised at all that that this is happening. And I've seen a lot of other women talk about how oh, she's gonna glow up after this, like she's gonna be fine, she's gonna boss up, her life is about to get so amazing. And I believe that, for her. But we also have to remember that this was her marriage. And so I'm sure that right now she is, well, I don't know what kind of mindset she's in right now, because she's probably in fight mode right now, where she's getting this divorce, trying to figure out everything, the kids, finances, how to handle all of this. But at some point she is going to be grieving this relationship, and it's going to hurt. And so I think that we should also extend her comfort and love and grace, and the fact that she is probably going to go through a time period where she is going to miss Ralph in her marriage. She's going to wish that it would have worked out. Like, I feel like a lot of times when things like this end, women are so quick to be like, oh, this is great news, oh, you're gonna do so much better in life. But people forget that, like, heartbreak hurts. Like, it sucks, it's painful. No one really wants to hear that out the blue. Like, if a friend of yours just got out of a relationship, your immediate response shouldn't be, oh, you'll be fine, like, you'll find somebody better, like, this is a good thing. No one wants to hear that when they're in the middle of it. I don't understand that either. Like, I would kind of hold off on those kind of comments and just, again, extend her love and grace, and just let her know that it is gonna hurt, but she will be okay. But I don't even think she's thinking about finding another person, and like, I don't think that's where her mind is right now. But I do get it though. Like, again, with her and Ralph, that did seem very toxic, and so with her getting out of that toxic relationship, things are bound to flourish for her. And so I think everyone is anticipating that level of growth from her after the situation happens. But yeah, I hope it doesn't get too messy. But knowing Ralph, knowing how he is, I wouldn't be surprised. And she also said too that he was messing with her finances, so I can imagine that he's probably gonna fight in court to get some of her money. Which, yeah, it's all sad across the board. I never really like to see marriages end, or relationships end like that, because I just don't wish that on anybody. Again, that type of pain is hard to heal from. I'm speaking from experience. I just wouldn't wish that on anybody. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Were you shocked at this divorce? Are you relieved? I don't want to say happy. Are you relieved that they're getting a divorce? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you guys can see me cover other housewives topics. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.